Shalom. Call Haloyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Nachal Kodash. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Nachal Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Nachal Kodash. Shalom, a double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. I just want to go into a quick video entitled Undeniable Proof Esau is Modern Prophetic Babylon, aka, Babylon the Great. Because what does Babylon mean? What's the root word for Babylon? It's Babel, and Babel means confusion. So the city of confusion. And these are a bunch of city-states here in America. And everyone is a great melting pot, and everyone's confused and bugged out of their mind with all of the philosophies of Satan, because anything that's not of the Most High is of Satan. It's darkness and wickedness. Everyone is confused. So when we read the Holy Scriptures, we read it like this, spoken of in the book of Isaiah 28 and verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Doctrine is teachings, the proper truth and teaching of the Holy Scriptures. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. So them that are weaned from the milk, what's that referencing? Babies, children, and I believe the Messiah said, them, you must become as babes, right? Because you must become that new person. So we're spiritually born again and become spiritual babies in the truth, born again. And you must be able to get the milk of the Scriptures to understand who you are, who your nationality, what your nationality is, and who's your fellow 12 tribes brethren, and understand who the enemies are, who the other heathen nations are. Chiefly beginning with the person that's caused us to lose our identity in the so-called white man, the Edomites. And they learn that we must keep the commandments to the best of our abilities, and that the laws are not done away with. And that's how you're going to grow, through the Holy Scriptures and the commandments. You can't grow if you're being wicked and sinning. That's keeping you down. You do the best you can, and having a faith first and foremost. So that's a part of the milk. And then you grow and you can be able to understand the meatier, the meat of the Scriptures, the dark sayings, the hidden manna, the parables, as the Most High sups with you with His Holy Spirit. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Says verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And that's how you get the full proper understanding. That's how you are able to be taught knowledge, and that's how you are able to be made to understand the doctrine spoken of in verse 9. Here a little and there a little. You can read the chapters, one at a time, but also as you're reading, and certain precepts come to mind, and then they connect to get, that's that multiple witnesses, 2 or 3 witnesses, every word is established, and the true proper doctrine is established. So Jeremiah chapter 50, we'll start there, and verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that he had taken against Babylon. So this is the counsel against the modern day Babylonians, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Babylon and Chaldea, they were together in the ancient Babylonian, in their ancient Babylonian rule. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So this is a prophecy for modern Babylon and the modern Chaldeans. And that's going into modern Babylon is Babylon the Great America, and the Chaldeans, in league with the little hats, the small hats that claim to be the Ish people, right? And the Chaldeans, they went into the spell castings and the witchcraft and the sorcery, right? And they run all of the medical industry, because pharmacy means the Greek word pharmakia, which means sorcery and witchcraft. So that's what these medicines are. And Moderna and Pfizer, all of these people, they're owned and run by the little hats. And so they're the Chaldeans. the modern sorcery and magic and all of that, witchcraft. So surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, meaning the Chaldeans being the least of the rulership, but they are the ones that's controlling and steering the whole thing, being the little hats. They control the money, and whatever they say, America jump and do, giving them all those billions of dollars. Now they're sending over those fighter jets and the destroyer navy vessels, right, and the air and the warships, the pilots, the airplanes, the warship, the planes, whatever, the Air Force. I'm trying to find the right terminology for that, but whatever the little hats are doing, America just blindly follows them and backs them up, and that lets you know who's running things. They do whatever America does, whatever the horde does, whatever the little hats say that controls the money. So they're the ones over there in the Middle East, the little hats, stirring everything, stirring the pot up, stirring up the Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthi rebels, and now Iran is stepping in, and because Iran, the little hats are steadily, murdering, and onslaught. It's all out war over there, and they're the ones that's instigating the whole thing. So that's how the least of the flock is drawing them out. And so the Most High saying, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And that's Iran coming up, and whoever else the Most High raise up, maybe North Korea, but all of these Arab nations are rising up. That's in league with Russia and China, the BRICS. So that's the least of the flock. Join everybody out to this third woe, the third world war, World War III. So when we read here Jeremiah 49 and verse 20, let's go to verse 7 real quick. It says what? The title right there, it says what? Prophecy against Edom. So verse 7, concerning Edom, thus said the Most High Power Yahweh of hosts, in the name of Yahushai, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? All of their sorcery, witchcraft, and lies, deceit, the Most High is revealing them in these last days. That man of sin is being revealed, the son of perdition. So we know the context of these verses preceding as going forth. When we go here, jump down to verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh. This sounds very familiar in Jeremiah 50 and 45, speaking about Babylon, right? Let's just go there real quick. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he had spoken against Edom. And let's go to verse 45 here in Jeremiah 50. It says, and therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon. So that's the exact same wording. In verse 20, the second sentence says, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. You remember the other one was Chaldeans. Because Teman, that's the Germans descend from them. That's modern day Germans. And then a whole lot of little hats descend from Teman, of the Germans. That you could trace them back to the German Khazars, the Ashkenazi Jews, and it's all a cluster of all of that madness of these Edomites changing their identity. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. You see, so Teman, likened it to the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans are the sorcery and witchcraft. That's the least of the flock, drawing out everyone over there in the Middle East. So that's the direct correlation. So in Jeremiah 49 and 50, see Jeremiah 49, when you got this little bit right here, knowing that this prophecy is concerning Edom, and the Most High said the exact same thing to Babylon, to Babylon and Chaldea, the prophecy of modern Babylon and modern Chaldea, and it's the exact same wording for Babylon, Chaldea, and then Edom and the Temanites. So this lets you know right here that this is prophecy, that this Babylonian prophecy, the prophecy of Babylon the Great, the modern Babylon, is the Edomites. If you have the eyesight to be able to see it, the spirit dealing with you, you'll be able to easily put the correlation together. Psalm 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord, Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. And then the very next verse, in verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, it lets you know right there, once again, the context, Edom, the Most High is letting speak, King David speaking about Edom, asking the Most High to remember them. And then the very next verse, they are likened into the daughter of Babylon, because they are the future Babylon the Great, who are to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. So verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Getting a little ahead of myself here. But it's very exciting, to be able to put the correlation of who the Edomites are and what this ancient mystery Babylon is. I mean, not this ancient, this prophetic, this future mystery Babylon. And it's very plain to see that the Most High is parabolically speaking about Esau Edom. So Jeremiah 49 and verse 17. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Verse 18. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, said the Lord Yahweh, in the name Yahushai, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So Esau Edom, like his ancient sites, they're just ruins. They're just abandoned, old caves. If you look up the word Petra, that's like one of Esau's main areas. His headquarters is ancient homeland of Petra. Over there in the far east, over there in the east, right? Because we all come from the east. So their old landmass was Petra and Bozrah. Those are abandoned. They're not burned down like Sodom and Gomorrah. So this is a future Edom domain, where they dwell in the end times. So Sodom and Gomorrah, and that has not happened yet. So Jeremiah 50 and 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, in the name Yahushai, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues, at all her plagues. You see that? That's the exact same wording as we just read, in verse 17 it says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. And one more time for edification purposes. Verse 13, because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall wholly be desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. So it's like, direct similitude, the Most High saying the same thing. That's why, he say here a little and there a little, and you can unlock the meaning. He's saying the exact same thing for Esau Edom, the so-called white race, that he's saying for Babylon, because Babylon the Great and Esau Edom, they're one and the same. This Babylon is talking about Esau Edom in Jeremiah 49. Easy correlation in the spirit. Isaiah 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. And that's Babylon the Great here. The beauty of the Chaldees is excellency, that witchcraft and sorcery, that wine of the fornication of that cup that they make the whole earth to drink of, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So we know Babylon, see right here, verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. And, Arabians pitching tent there in modern day Iraq. Because Babylon landmass today is now inhabited. It's called Iraq. It's the same landmass. You can look it up. Arabians are pitching tent there at will. So we know that's not talking about ancient Babylon. This is a future Babylon, America. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Because we know Arabians and all nations, the merchants of the earth, made their tents here, in the United States Corporation of America. It's all about money here. It's all about carnality and how much money you can get here in Babylon, not about how much you can grow your spirit, in the Holy Spirit of the Most High. In the name of Yahweh Shai, only the elect is doing that, trying their best to do that. The hopeful elect, right? The sincere, genuine, hopeful elect members. So let's see. From there we'll go to Revelations 18 and chapter 18, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And that's spiritual fornication, because anything that goes away from the Most High and go after, men, Satan and men, false idols and stuff, false philosophies and doctrines that are evil, that's spiritual fornication against the Most High. And that's why they will not be saved. They will be punished and judged, serve captivity, the heathen nations, and they will be set back in their own land, beat their swords into plowshares, and they will serve the Most High and learn from the Israelites under Yahweh Shai of how to properly live in this life and in the earth and in peace. And they will be subject to the Israelites under Yahweh Shai, ultimately under Yahweh, right? They will not be equal footing, as we're not equal footing in this wicked satanic world, right? So the heathen will not be equal footing with the Israelites in the kingdom of heaven. That's impossible. So verse 3, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And the greatest abundance that America has, of Babylon the Great, is what? Are the Israelites, the gold and silver of the Most High, the jewels of the Most High. And I heard another voice from heaven. See, because another nugget of information is whenever a nation has the Israelites as their slaves, they become the world superpower, like ancient Egypt, and then Babylon, ancient Babylon, with Nebuchadnezzar, and then the Persians, and then even the Greeks had us during the Hellenization period. They took us took a lot of the Jews to Alexandria in Egypt, the capital city of Alexander the so-called Great. They were the world superpower, and the Romans were oppressing us. When the sellout Israelites said, good slave sellout Israelites said, what? They have no king but Caesar, So, and now America is the world superpower again with the Israelites in captivity today. The greatest world superpower ever, because they got all 12 tribes here in modern Egypt and Babylon the Great. So, verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. And what does it mean to partake in sin? It means to be actively sinning. So the Most High say, come out of her mentally and spiritually, and stop sinning, turn away and repent to the Most, and turn to the Most High, and stop following after the destructive ways, the venomous ways of the serpent. And that ye receive not of her plagues, meaning the judgments that's about to come down during, the Jacob's trouble, the mark of the beast era here, aka Jacob's trouble, the uprisings and the riotings and looting, apocalyptic times here, leading up into what? The day of salvation. Verse 5, for her sins have reached into heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. So that means, the Most High, he was chilling, just sitting back and in this grace period, because this was the time for us to come back to the Most High. But now the Most High is not sitting back, not touching their wickedness no more, and he's bringing forth those plagues. As we see the beginning phases of all of these things happening in the earth. So verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. So we served 400 to 500 years here in captivity, beginning in 1492 with the Northern Kingdom of Columbus, and the Northern Kingdom, so-called Latinos, Puerto Ricans, Native American Indians, right? Seminole Indians. The Northern Kingdom went to that captivity and that's oppression underneath the Edomites first, under the Spanish. You know, they called them conquistadors, which means conquerors that conquered the northern kingdom. You know, and then 1619, slavery, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? The whole 12 tribes. So that's been 500 years. So the Most High say rewarding to her double. So it's going to be what, 1,000 years of slavery for that, for their sins. Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. And she glorified herself because that's the pride of her heart that's deceiving her, the Edomites, so-called white race. And lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. In Psalm 49 and 11, that's the pride of these Edomite devils. They think that their kingdom is going to continue forever and never be destroyed, and that they'll never be touched by the Most High. Psalm 49 and 11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So what that sound like? You know, Esau, he calls all these areas after his own names. That's he's incriminating himself. Revelation 18. And also with that, you know, Mount Rushmore of the 4 president heads. Those are graven images too. You know, he's always sinning. You know, he let you know. That's just like a rapper in his songs, telling on himself about what he's did in his you know, what sins and what crimes he committed. That's what Esau did, doing that Mount Rushmore with the 4 presidents heads of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Jackson, and I forget who the 4th one was, James Madison. I can't remember the 4th president, but he incriminated himself. He glorified himself, you know, and he incriminated himself at the same time. And lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Let's see, verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord, Yahweh, the Most High Power, in the name of Yahweh Shai, who judgeth her. So that burned with fire, that's that Sodom and Gomorrah fire, you know, that fire and brimstone, that thermonuclear fire. So, you know, this is undeniable proof. You know, Esau is a modern prophetic Babylon the Great. So with that being said, hope the video was edifying. The water to the Chak Wadash Basham. Yahweh Shai, another video. To the next video I say, Shalom.